Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Final Show Films. I'm Sen, your executive producer, and I want to thank you all for tuning in. I particularly want to thank our $25 tier supporters over on our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms, those being Samantha Bates, L, and Jeffrey Alexander, without whom we wouldn't be able to do nearly as much as we do now. So thank you very much for your support over the years. And those of you that are watching live, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I'm Sen, your game master for the evening, and I am joined this week by Shani.
Hi, I am Shani or William, and I am playing Najka Flame Howl, the orcish craftsman of the Order of the Forge Knight.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Elafira, who is a water genasi rogue.
And Craig.
Hi, I'm playing Grouper, a Fisher Fish Circle of the Moon druid.
Who is currently out of spells. And Jack.
Hooray.
Hi, I'm Jack. I'm playing three goblins in an automaton. Meanie Manny, Gesby, and Peas.
Holly is with us, but is had to step away for a little bit, and we'll be back in a bit to introduce Davina. And Drevian.
I'm Drevian. I am playing Tenebris, a Gerbine Witch.
And when last we left off, the adventurers had finished dealing with a collection of Ravager stabby stabbers that had been operating in the swamps outside of Stillman. Oh, also, as always, trans rights, human rights, and Black Lives Matter. But the party had gotten done dealing with some Ravager stabby stabbers that had been operating in the swamps outside of Stillman, and had loaded up, recovered the supplies they were paid, or they were getting paid to recover, and had loaded them back up into the skiff that they had been using to take back to town. On the way back, Grouper, you and Tenebris, go ahead.
So remind me, because it's been a little bit, especially for me. Sorry, I missed last week, y'all. The method of propulsion for the skiff.
Sticks.
Okay, all right.
Also,
is Tenebris involved?
Holly is with us. Holly, go ahead and introduce yourself. We started, but go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, sure. I'm Holly. I'm playing Davina. She is a Silky Folk Mystic.
Okay. Continue, Craig.
Is Tenebris involved in any way in the propulsion?
No, I think it's Najka and the Good Goblins.
Okay.
Najka and Martin Victoria are the ones
Yeah,
currently responsible for pulling the skiff.
All right. Then can Grouper go and kind of sit next to Tenebris? What is Tenebris up to at this point?
Just kind of keeping an eye out.
It's not a very big skiff, so anywhere you're sitting is sitting next to Tenebris.
Yeah, I mean, but we're little. All right. So it's kind of been a weird day.
Definitely wasn't expecting some stabby folks to come at us.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I think the nail geyser was actually kind of weirder for me. But yeah, the stabby stabbers in there, that was something else. And then the spree demon, yeah. Also, seems like you and I might have more in common than even we thought before.
And why? What do you mean?
Well, the whole, and Grouper will raise a webbed hand and then sort of pull up a glob of water out of the pond and then sort of mimic a little bit what Tenebris did. Obviously not in the same sort of fire hose forcefulness that I picture it having been, but will clearly mimic it and shoot out a little burst of water using shape water.
Oh, you mean with the spell? I. That's something I learned to do a while ago when I was back before we left the island. It's. I've never been certain when to use it, but when a demon starts attacking, you just kind of try shit.
So Grouper has really big eyes, and so when he narrows them, it's not remotely subtle. Um, uh, am I correct in my assumption that that Grouper would not remember Tenebris learning anything like this while we were on the island?
You would know Tenebris studied like sea gods and sea creatures,
Mm-hmm.
but Tenebris never let on that he learned any magic doing such.
So this is the first time you figured you'd bust that out?
I mean, Nashka got possessed for a moment, and then this creature comes running out and stabbing people and seemed to have a weird effect on Nashka and Elefira. It
I mean, don't get me
and
wrong. I'm glad you did it. I just seems new.
yeah, I haven't really used it much.
Okay. Anything else you've been keeping in your back pocket?
I know some other spells, but like they're there's it's stuff I learned while shipwrecked, like on the island, and I not sure how to feel about them most of the time.
That's fair. Uh, Stuff you'd kind of rather leave behind.
I don't know yet. It's just like I don't know what cursed me. Like it's where I get that power from.
Okay.
So it's like there's just a lot I just don't know about it.
Yeah. Well, and I get the fact that it's tied up in what was. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can't imagine the full extent of it, but I mean, I definitely get that it was a real shitty time. I get that that makes it complicated. So if you need time to unravel it or it's stuff you don't really want to mess with, I I get that and I respect it. I hope you can understand when I see you tapping into what looks like the power of the ocean, given the things that we found out recently, given this link to, and he just kind of points downward vaguely. If it's anything you think more about, and if it's anything you want to talk about, I mean, I'm definitely your water guy.
I appreciate it.
I think
And
the
Tenebris
phrase
will
is water
pat
boy.
Grouper on the shoulder.
Water guy. But Tenebris does what?
Pats Grouper on the shoulder.
Grouper reaches over and returns a gesture, and Flop will lean in from the other side and just kind of butt at Tenebris's elbow in the hope that, in a way that I think Tenebris is familiar enough with Flop to know means Flop wants pets.
Tenebris provides such.
Okay.
And we fast forward. So you all have been turned into supplies, got paid 500 gold each, and have had the chance to get a long rest in, assuming that you want it to.
That sounds
Is
good.
there anything that
Did I take more damage?
I don't. You healed some.
Okay.
Let me look at your character sheet. What I had for your character sheet, anyways.
Yeah, most of it's on D&D Beyond.
Was there anything anyone wanted to do before you took that long rest?
I've already pushed the button, so
You
no.
were at 27 of 38 hit points, from what I have.
Oh, okay. A little better than where I was. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Najka's going to do active crafting over the course of her long rest, as is her right.
Mm-hmm.
What is Martin Victoria? Are the good goblins still locked up?
Yeah, they seem to be planning to head towards the ship like they've been doing.
Okay. Pardon the rehash question. Like I said, unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to watch from last week. The possession. Do people seem to have been coping with that?
They hit her and then it stopped.
I think we had a bit of an argument about it, but it was mostly just coming down from the surprise of it.
Okay. How's Fyron doing? Fyron wasn't
Fire
there,
wasn't
right?
there.
Fireman's on the ship.
Yeah.
Guarding
So
the
is
ship.
then is Najka going to the ship, or is Najka avoiding the ship?
No, Najka will probably head back to the ship, if for no other reason than to have a space where she can do work
Okay.
and also speak with her significant other and such.
Yeah. All right. That's just something that I think Grouper would probably keep an eye on. Make sure that she's not avoiding him.
As far as Najka, so for further clarification, Najka got hit with some kind of darkness that was emerging from the ritual that the Stabby Stabbers were doing that caused her to attack people for one round. At which point she woke up out of it when Elefira stabbed her. So her immediate experience was everything goes dark for a minute. There is only screaming. Ow!
And
fuck,
then I've been
there's a sword in
stabbed.
my side.
Yeah.
All right.
You're welcome.
And so for her, it was a lot of in the immediate aftermath, as she had come back to her senses, everyone was still acting like she hadn't, and she was like, "Calm the fuck down." Because they couldn't tell, but she could.
Right. Is the water around the ship in the harbor as bad as the water in the swamp?
No,
Is it
because
the same?
it's not swamp water.
Okay. Okay. All right. So there is a barrier at some point.
The Stillbin itself sort of separates out the swamp water from the ocean water. There are channels that go through Stillbin, but largely the only part of the swamp that connects to the ocean is on the southern side in the Downwater Wharf area. But that's not where you guys were at. So
Okay. All right. I think I will head shipward before we settle in for the night and see if I can catch Najka before she reaches it. If I can jump in and kind of swim along.
I mean, the ship is at the docks, so you can just walk.
I know, but I like to swim.
Yep, but
So,
Grouper's
Sorry, to be clear, you'd have to walk to get through the city to get to the docks.
all right. I don't know why I was thinking there were like some channels running through the town.
Yeah, there are channels running through the town, but not to the docks.
Got it. Okay. All right. So can I walk with him then?
Theoretically, if you wanted to go
if you look at Roll20, you
all
can
the
see
way
the map of
around the
Stillbin.
outside of the city,
Right.
you could like take this area down through the Downwater Wharf.
Yeah,
Got it.
All right.
The ship is at the North Bay docks.
Okay. You know what? Actually, it's been a long day, and I Tenebris and Grouper are staying together at the inn, right? We have the room together, and
Until the next time you
Davina
kill an
and
octopus, anyways.
oh yeah. Wait, no, that wasn't here, was it? That was
No.
yeah.
Like I said, until the next
I
time.
was
you kill an
at the
octopus.
last.
Oh, okay. Oh, until the next time. Yeah, fair. Okay, all right. Then, yeah, never mind. Then I think Grouper's just going to go back and get some sleep. Keep an eye on Tenebris. See if we have any more weird dreams.
All right. Long rests. No weird dreams. But there is. I had said that there was going to be downtime. I lied. There is Elefira. In your room, when you wake up, there is a piece of paper stabbed to the inside of your door with a knife.
I'm in that room as well.
Mhm.
If that makes any difference.
It doesn't.
I'm glad you said door because I wasn't sure where stabbed into was going to end.
Stabbed into
Right.
the inside of your door with a knife.
I wake up and it's on the inside of my leg, and I'm like, ah! Sigh, get up, walk over, read it.
It says. Hang on one second. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Wrong window. No, stop it. There. It says. Owlset Bay, outlet of the Foramir Waterway, ASAP.
Owlset Bay.
Owlset Bay, outlet of the Foramir Waterway, ASAP.
All right.
Davina's just staring at you.
Gotta go out. Starts to leave, realizes I haven't gotten dressed yet. Goes back.
You know that's not a short journey.
Okay.
I will put you on the Taldori map.
Oh.
As in, yeah, it's not in town. That's gonna be.
Sorry, I am
southwest.
not. I am solid on my.
No, that's fair.
Exandria geography. I am not.
Not that good. Yeah.
It's only 10 feet.
Let me see if I can fix the. Is there a measurement?
Fix
on
the
this?
map scale.
Okay.
The map told me it's only 10 feet.
Hang on.
The map lied.
You can make it so that a 5-foot square is equal to about 60 miles, and you should be good.
It's 1 square, Michael. What could it be? 10 feet?
Yeah, so if you set the custom range to 1 square is 60 miles, you should match the roughly match the scale.
There, try now.
There we go. Yep. Yeah, it's a.
Well, that's a little bit longer.
Yeah.
That's okay. I am not reverting anything other than she makes it out the door and down and down several steps before she stops and realizes, oh shit, I need to get clothes on. Comes back, shuts the doors, like looks at the note and is like, oh shit, I'm not walking to this.
Yeah. The fastest way to go is going to be by boat. Interestingly enough.
Fortunately, we have a boat.
What?
Well, we know where
Isn't
we're
that
going.
convenient?
And in your head, you hear, would you like me to come with you?
Oh, we're not going there. This is going to be all of us.
Okay.
I'm not. This is like this is a multiple day journey by boat.
And here, she hands you clothing.
Oh, I'm not going now, so I'm going back to bed.
Oh.
Just for shits and giggles,
Right.
make an investigation check real quick.
Okay.
Davina just throws the clothes on top of Ella's unconscious body.
Ella accept this.
Before you go to sleep. 13. Your windows
13.
Your window was open just so that it wasn't as blisteringly hot as it has been recently.
Right.
That note and dagger were thrown in the window.
From underneath the pile of clothes, after that moment's consideration, an arm raises just so it can be seen by the window, and all but one finger come down and then the arm collapses.
Index finger, right?
And I sleep for another couple hours. Yes, absolutely the index finger,
You-
not the one
you were-
right next to it.
You were telling whoever it was that you're number one.
I was acknowledging. I was
Hey.
acknowledging the tribal chief.
Here's the proper way to drink tea.
And I sleep for a couple hours and then get up and go about the day.
What does going about the day look like?
Going around to check on it, see if everybody's up, because we need to, before anybody gets an idea, starting off the day like, oh, I'm gonna go on a trip around the city. No, we gotta fucking go.
So while
So
Elefira
I'm
is
going
still
around
asleep,
to
then,
find everybody.
while Elefira is still asleep, then does anybody get up to shenanigans in the morning?
I think the only thing that anyone would notice is that Najka is not in her room and presumably did not sleep there last night.
Were you on the boat?
Yes, she would have been on the boat the entire time.
Well,
Oh.
Davina's awake now. She's gonna go bother Grouper.
Yeah, excellent.
At some point in the night, the goblins abandoned the Martin Victoria at the gangplank up to the boat so that it still looked like it was on. And just went and argued with themselves up in some cranny somewhere.
If any of them are like anywhere near the workshop that Najka has claimed for herself, they will hear the constant sounds of metal welding and work being done.
For at least some percentage of the night, anyways.
Yeah.
Not all of it, because you do have to sleep.
Yes, but I complete this as part of the long rest.
Yes, you do. Which means you work quickly. Is there anything additional to that, Jack?
Oh, I just figured since we were in the same place.
Yeah, I would have picked
how
up
they
on the,
spent
on
their
good
nights.
goblins arguing with each other. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Davina goes to find Grouper, who presumably is still asleep.
Probably not. I mean, Gruber's a fisherman. He wakes up early, so he's probably just in his room reading, going over journal and maps and things. No, you know what? He's writing letters. That's his jam. He's writing a letter back to Father Martin.
So, Davina.
Yeah, Davina just like walks through the door to his room.
The door bursts open, splinters of wood going everywhere. As Davina doesn't even try to open it, just walks right through it.
Yes, exactly.
What did we settle? I feel terrible. I need to write this down. Did we settle on D or Vina as the normal nickname?
I can't it was going back and forth.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I believe you had mostly settled on Vina.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious
Hold
because
on.
that's the name of one of the characters in our vampire game on Wednesdays.
Yes.
Can it be D?
Yes.
I just kind of prefer that.
Yeah. Hello.
She yeah, she goes through the door. I mean opens door, and yeah, wherever Grouper is kind of just jumps on his
fucking
back.
plywood doors. You just break it the slightest.
It's like probably fair to say we knew who it was if Tenebrous is up, but we look over and just see Flop sitting on the other side of the door after we hear footsteps, and it's just like sort of split back tail wagging by the door. Can smell D.
Nah, Tenebrous is still asleep.
Okay. You say you jump on Grouper?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like whatever is he like sitting up?
Yeah, he's like sitting up, sort of propped up, like a very small, round, even sexier Geralt, but fishier in his little tub. Big old webbed feet propped up on the edge, like poking up the other side, writing in his journal. Yeah.
Perfect
Yeah,
description.
Yeah, she does like the sibling like jump on the back thing, but slightly more gently so she doesn't like kill Grouper. But
Yeah, fair.
But she isn't that big, like
Okay.
so yeah.
He's just tiny.
He drops it.
Yeah.
He drops the letter, which is like waxed paper and writing with crayon, so it can get wet. Drops it into the bath.
You just hear in your head, sorry.
No, it's okay. That's no, it happens all the time. I'm just writing back to Father Martin.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, this is in the head.
Yes.
How did you sleep?
Fairly well. Apparently, we're all going somewhere later.
Really?
Whenever Ella wakes up, she knows.
Ah, another one of
Whenever
these.
Ella wakes up, she knows.
Another one of these mysterious missions.
There was a piece of paper with a dagger in our room, like attached with a dagger.
As you do.
I know you have your concerns about us getting along. And so I don't want you to interpret this in that light, but have you noticed Ella is like really into daggers now? I mean, she always used to have the
No?
nail file. Well, she did stab me. And then she also stabbed Najka. And she does a lot of stabbing.
She stabbed Najka with a sword, not a dagger.
To be fair, it was a rapier. It's basically a long, thin dagger.
Grouper's a druid. They're all daggers.
That is, both of you are wrong on so many levels.
I mean, she might just enjoy stabbing or daggers. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's a lot wrong with that. With enjoying stabbing?
Well, it depends on who you're stabbing. You're fine.
Dee, I don't know. I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about Ella. It's not fine to enjoy stabbing. I feel like everybody left.
The Stabbist Union.
I feel like everybody left and got so comfortable with violence. Naushka's covered in scars. The good goblins have a cannon.
Oh, you did get to see a brand new quirk of Najka's physiology when she got a bite taken out of her by the spree demon. You found out she bleeds magma.
Najka bleeds magma now?
When Grouper says that everyone's gotten like so comfortable with violence, you see a change in Davina's face.
What does it indicate to me? If I can tell.
Almost hurt in a way.
Is it hurt in that she thinks Grouper's talking about her?
Yes.
Okay. Grouper looks and says, Dee, I'm talking to you about this because I feel like you might be the only one who can understand where I'm coming from. We've all changed, but you're still you and I'm still me.
I'm not still me.
You are.
Look at how we're talking right now.
Well, that's neat. And I know it's hard, but it's not something you chose, right?
No, it's not something I chose.
I know.
I don't think so.
No, I
can't remember.
I know. I don't think you chose it.
I can't imagine choosing this.
No. But I can't imagine people choosing to get good at stabbing. But it's what's happening. And
it's a way to defend yourself. The world tries to kill you.
You're right, but we have other methods of message delivery. Now we're getting daggers involved in that?
Okay, Ella didn't do that.
No, but she's involved with people who do, and
she doesn't have control over the people she's involved with, over their actions.
No, but what kind of control do they have over hers?
I don't know. Maybe
Neither
you
d-
should speak to Ella about that.
I don't want to, but
Grouper, enemy to knife jugglers everywhere.
Oh, let me tell you right now, the absolute screaming that is going on in my head right now. You have to talk to Ella because this has to come out.
I can't wait for the good goblins to hear about this.
Rupert, at some point, I am going to lock you two in a room together if you cannot work things out any other way.
We're not kids anymore. This isn't 7 minutes in Celestia. It's oh, that's not what you meant. Sorry.
They're really wide at that. I don't need to know about that. That's not what I meant.
In fairness, I think you probably already did know about that at some point from
Oh,
of the
no,
times that happened before.
Oh, no, yeah, no, I feel like there's some trauma.
I don't want to, but what do you think there is other than the stabbing to talk about at this point? We're working together.
You clearly still have issues.
Well, I'm trying to save the world with my ex.
Yes, and talking once and then trying to ignore her isn't going to do any good.
We talked twice. Thank you. The first time was mostly yelling.
Yelled once,
Well,
talked once.
She's sleeping now, so that's
I didn't mean right now.
you know what she's like when you wake her up.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting breakfast. I was going to ask if you wanted to join me. But if you want to be up here and be all mopey, that's fine too.
I'm not mopey. I'm writing a letter.
Writing a letter mopey.
Am not.
Part two.
Fine. Fine. Should we ask Tanny if he wants to come?
Is he asleep?
Yeah, Tinniverse is just on a bed, like a nest of blankets, and sprawled out on top of it.
At that, then Davina will bounce like over to it and just poke him in the shoulder.
Tinniverse still asleep, swats at your hands like, damn crabs, go away.
Poke.
After a couple more pokes, Tinniverse kind of wakes up. It's like, damn.
You just hear in your
it's
head,
Davina.
do you want breakfast?
Yeah, breakfast sounds good.
We're getting food. Wake up. We're apparently going on a trip.
All right, that's vague.
Yeah. Ella has the information.
Are we all linked?
Yeah.
Ella got a stabogram.
Tinniverse goes to roll out of bed. His foot gets caught in the blankets, falls on the floor.
You okay? That's out loud because he's used to responding out loud.
This is why hammocks are so much better.
Maybe we can make you one. We could probably buy one. I bet they got them. Come on. Let's see what we got.
We have money now.
Yeah. Oh, we could buy a real fancy hammock.
I thought we were getting breakfast, not going shopping.
We'll do
Well,
that first. Who
breakfast
knows how
first.
long Ella's gonna sleep?
Yeah. Wait, breakfast first or hammocks first?
Let's get breakfast first.
Breakfast, then straight to the hammock district.
All right. Breakfast and hammocks.
All right. You go to get breakfast and to get hammocks. Are you getting hammocks for the ship, I'm assuming?
Probably.
Does it have hammocks? Does it? What are the sleeping quarters like in that?
Bear.
Oh hell yeah! What kind of bear?
This kind spelled B-A-R-E.
I know.
Actually, no. They did put in some sleeping arrangements for you before you left. They spent a week retrofitting or fitting the ship up, while making it look more like a normal ship than it actually is. So you probably do
most
have
ships
probably
have
do
hammocks
have
or
hammocks in
suspended
there.
sleeping
Yeah.
arrangements so that you don't like rock yourself to illness while the ship is moving.
Yeah, they probably
Yep.
do already have hammocks in the sleeping areas.
We're still gonna go buy some real fancy ones though.
You can spend however much gold you'd like to spend on fancy hammocks. Minimum 1. The more gold you spend, the fancier and more useless the hammock is.
Yes.
Probably just get a portable hammock just so that Tenebris can hang a hammock wherever so that they can sleep in a hammock no matter where they are.
A portable hammock is also known as a tarp.
No.
No,
A tarp with some rope.
no,
Okay.
no.
Can we buy one fancy hammock and then find somebody to make us a frame? Najka could do that.
We have to go find Nashka to make a frame for a portable hammock for Tenebris.
All right.
Just
Who-
get some straps so you
Who
can
It's
hold it up against a tree or a
is it a tarp
pillar
and
in a
some rope
building
to hang
or-
it with.
Look, Grouper's never had this much money in his life, okay?
Whole
time to
500
get
gold.
the best hammock.
Yeah.
Anyways, eventually, Elafira, you wake up all alone.
Mhm. Yep.
Lonely.
Go try and find people.
Give me an investigation check just to see how well you do at finding people.
Nine.
They're not in the inn or in the immediate vicinity around the inn.
So I'm going to the ship.
At
The boat. Skip. The thing.
Yeah, the ship.
Yep.
You head to the ship and you find Najka and the Firen and the good goblins, presumably.
Nashka's in her like work outfit, which is the like burnt leathers and stuff that she wears. It's not her armor.
I definitely thought you were saying workout fit, like her leotard and high socks.
Oh yeah.
I am
Eventually,
of the belief that all fantasy workout gear should be 80s workout gear.
100%.
eventually,
Yes.
if you stay at the boat long enough, the others will do it.
Yeah, I'm like, I get there. All right, we're out. We've got get ready. We've got we have a destination.
I thought we were still a few weeks out from that.
No, we were within a few weeks. Doesn't mean that we're gonna go there and immediately. Oh, maybe we're gonna stay there for a couple weeks. Maybe things change.
What's our destination then?
Alset Bay.
It's not that far. But
No,
my map knowledge is still serving me.
it's gonna be. I mean, that's gonna be probably about 4 or 5 days, I think.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So it's not that far off. But yeah, I don't know where. Do you know where everybody else is?
I've been here all night working.
Shocking, absolutely no one.
Around
The
this
Ragnarok
time.
is what, 40 miles a day?
Hang on 1 second.
I know there's a conversion between like in combat speed and miles per day, but I don't remember what it was.
Are we using the
It's about
salt marsh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hang on. Between 20. Hang on. There we go. Travel calculator. Distance travel. Pace. This is 242
It's about
miles.
30 miles a day, I think.
Because the ship can basically run. Because the ship can go constantly, so long as the good goblins are at the helm, because Martin Victoria can just constantly be piloting the ship, it will take you about 4 days to get there.
Cool.
If the ship is running 24 hours.
I guess we just have to wait for everybody else to show up.
It's about that time where you hear a chorus of people boarding the ship.
There's timing for you.
And when you look out across the deck, assuming that you're in a spot where you can see where you can see the deck, you can see Grouper and Tenebris and Davina onboarding, lugging hammocks with them. How much gold did you spend on these hammocks, Grouper?
Sorry, I was hardware muted.
Of your 500
what
gold
is
that you just received.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, given how weird the gold economy is, I'm assuming like the fanciest hammock in the world is like 10 gold.
Something around there, yeah.
Okay. And
Of course, they will let you spend however much you want.
no, I mean, I know that, but again, like it's bear with me. I'm playing a character with a positive intelligence modifier for the first time.
Fanciest non-magical hammock in the world.
Yeah, that's true. Do they have magical hammocks?
Not in
I want a
Stonehenge.
You know
hammock
they
that
do.
has that enchantment that lets you rest in just 2 hours a night.
Oh, I mean, that would be amazing, but no, I'm just picturing hammocks that are like they float on their own. You don't have to attach them to anything.
They
I was
exist,
gonna
but not
say more
Stonehenge.
just like
Tensor's floating disc hammock.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was gonna say more like just ones that are not going to throw you out of them when the ship that you're on gets runs into rocky.
They just activate cocoon mode. Hoo-ah!
And then you get to suffocate. Inside your magic hammock.
So, including Fyron, there's what, 7 of us?
6, 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
8.
6,
8.
7, 8, 9.
Oh wait.
9. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
Okay.
Because there are
Yeah.
3 good goblins.
Could I possibly have gotten one big enough to put Martin Victoria in?
No.
Like sturdy enough.
No.
Okay.
There is no non-magical hammock sturdy
All right.
enough for Martin Victoria.
No one has
Alright.
ever considered making such a thing.
Aormaton, the Aormaton that is Martin Victoria is larger than a Warforged, so by a significant amount. So
can I spend can we call it 120 gold on 9 really fancy hammocks, and then supporting like straps, pillows that are everyone's favorite colors,
Absolutely.
things like that. Okay, cool.
So you watch them bring on a king's ransom worth of hammocks.
They are they are piled in the little cart that Flop pulls, that we took the fish in. That's been cleaned out.
It's just an upgrade to our camping equipment. Basically, it's just like make our traveling camp more fancy.
But they're
Ella
like,
just slowly pinches the bridge of her nose for a moment. Hey guys,
we got hammocks.
I see that.
Bad enough. Any particular reason?
I mean, Tenebris said he wanted one. I was tired of falling out of bed, and then one thing led to another.
How hard did you get upsold on hammocks?
I'm gonna be real honest with you. I've never had this much money in my pockets before, and I've heard the expression "gold's burning a hole in your pocket." And I always thought, well, that's stupid unless somebody casts heat metal on it. But I'll be darned. Yeah, it's like somebody cast heat metal on it.
Hold on. I need to clarify something. So I understand the thought process.
I got one for you.
Great. That's so the concern was we fall out of bed too much, so you got hammocks.
Well, okay, so Tenebris falls out of bed and wanted a hammock. And I'm gonna be honest, I like hammocks. And then I don't know. You guys have been gone a while, and I like getting gifts for people. And I've never really had this much money to buy gifts for people.
It's fine. It's great. I was trying to put that train of thought together in my head.
Legitimately speaking, if we're out camping in the wilderness, having those hammocks around will actually make our camping more comfortable.
It will. I was just having a complete disconnect on we fall out of bed too much, let's get hammocks.
Well, it's harder to fall out of a hammock.
No, it's not. It's much, much, much easier.
Oh, okay. So, you're asking me how big I got upsold. Well, these have railings.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry. Let's go back a couple seconds. The hammocks have railing. Oh my God, I don't even care. So we're going to. We have our destination.
I've seen hammocks with like protective rope rails on the sides of them to stop you from rolling out of them.
And it's not like I got one for Flop or anything. And Tenebris and Davida, you hear in your heads, don't. And we flash back briefly to Grouper desperately trying to find someone who would sell a seal-sized hammock and failing at it.
We have our destination.
And a place to sleep.
I mean, we've already had a place to sleep. Now we have a place to sleep when we're out.
Firing off to one side, casting his glance over to the sleeping quarters, which, while sparse, have hammocks in them already. They're not fancy hammocks, but they are hammocks.
With the 21, can I catch the look?
Yeah, sure. He's not. He just.
Grouper kind of sidles up to Firen and says, "Hey, yours and Najka's fireproof."
He opens his mouth to say something, closes it again, and just pats you on the head.
Grouper just sort of smugly nods.
Najka has a realization. Goes like, speaking of things that we've acquired, I made an upgrade, and I felt like showing it off to people. As Najka walks down below decks and comes back in her armor, because it's quick change armor, you can just step into it.
Firen wanders off and pulls a flask off his hip and begins drinking.
Yeah.
As Najka returns in her armor, there have been significant alterations to it. Around the shoulders and arms, there are these sort of like drapes of almost like fish scale like scale metal. And there's this sort of like fluted constructions across the gloves, and there's like almost like an extra layer underneath
yeah.
the rim of the helmet.
Really quickly, the music is brought to you by Overclock Remix. I forgot to start playing music.
Oh yeah. The backpack that sort of connects the armor to the forge seems to have like additional space built into it. And there's these sort of like fluted constructions along the feet as well. But she sort of steps up, and the thing I sort of came to the realization, she says as she puts the helmet on, that the rest of this group is going to spend a lot of time underwater, so I figured I'd better make an adjustment, she says, as she sort of flexes the hand. And these sort of like webbed fins of leather sort of like slide up into the fingers of the gauntlets. As the helmet extends down, there's a hiss of steam as it sort of takes on this sort of diving bell construction, the sort of like slopes down helmet. The armor, the sheaths of fish scale sort of collapse down and form a seal around her arms, as the entire armor seals itself to the outside atmosphere and creates a sort of webbed fin construction on the hands and feet.
That's amazing.
Very nice.
She hits something on the inside of her glove again, and it returns back to its normal state. There's about 8 hours of breathable air, so I can journey underwater for a good while, and I can refill the air supply just over the course of an evening.
That's fantastic. So, if we were back in the swamp, would you be able to get in the water with no problems then?
Presumably.
Wow. That's great.
This is the kind of work I can do to all of your equipment, by the way. Like, stuff like this, I can turn your armor and your weapons into things that are a little bit more effective than your standard fare.
That's great.
As she has given the diving property to her armor.
Nice.
So yeah, we're going to Elsa Bay.
And what's at Elsa Bay?
A Formir waterway is the ultimate destination, which is a river that goes into the basin, and presumably,
Well, it comes out of the basin.
it comes out of the basin, yeah. Presumably, either Rook's going to be there or next set of where we're going.
Jack, yeah, what are
Probably Rook, I would guess.
what are the goblins doing this morning?
Peas is nowhere to be seen. But Gesby is checking on fresh water supplies, refilling those up. Various the things you have to do before you travel, chores. And she seems to have drafted Meanie Manny to do the heavy lifting.
Is Martin where's Martin Victoria as well? Just for the
Just sort of posted up in a corner.
Okay.
Somewhere.
Are they within earshot for the hammock discussion?
I think she hears part of it.
Okay. Whenever is a good time, and we get settled and maybe even underway, Grouper would like to track down Gesby and Meanie Manny if they're still together. But we don't have to do that now.
but yeah. So
Yeah, do we have anything we need to do here in Stilben before we go? We don't have time to fix the gang war situation, so that's off the table.
Probably not, but I think we've done what we needed to if we've got a destination in mind now.
Okay.
You think that bringing back the goods helped with that, or
It's possible. Who knows?
It could have made it better. It could have made it worse. Who knows?
yeah.
It is what that. Honestly, that was always going to be bigger than us. We were at most gonna put a few drops in the right bucket.
Well, in either case, shall we get underway then?
That sounds good.
Yep. Give me. I'm gonna head back to the inn. Get any stuff that got left there.
Yeah.
Because some of us slept at the place that we paid money for.
I'll come with you.
Nope.
Didn't we pay for like a week in advance?
Mhm.
I don't know if we're getting that back.
No, we're not. And we might have a chance if it was a more reputable city. We're not getting that back in Stillman.
No.
Honestly, might not be a bad idea. Just to, if anybody's paying a ton of attention to us.
Leave a room in our names while we're not there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I just head back really quick.
Yep.
Collect anything that needs to be collected.
While Davina and Elfir are gone, anything that happens on the ship?
I think Najka mostly just checks maps of where we're at and where we're going. Realizes for a minute, oh shit, we're real close to Zephyr. Huh, didn't think about that. Oh well.
Then I risk make sure to change back the language on the ship to common. So it's readable.
I forgot you did that.
I
That's
love
great.
that.
That's so good.
That's the gift that keeps on giving.
Davina would like to have a brief conversation with Ella on our way back.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
Okay.
just a mental link with Ella at this point. So you and Grouper need to talk more.
I know. I have tried.
Okay, he has
He's made it.
issues.
Oh, really?
Apparently, you're too into daggers.
That's weird.
And you're
Look-
too stabby.
Oh, okay. Sure. Look, I have tried. He has made it unbelievably, incredibly clear. He has no desire or willingness to communicate with me in any way that is not directly mission related.
Okay.
I
No, it's fine. I have plans. Don't worry. They involve locking you guys in rooms, but
look. My point being, if he's open to it, yes, absolutely. I want to talk about it because this is not working.
Okay.
And we need to we need to actually talk this out, work it out, and figure out how to move forward as not just two random people in the same group.
I just need to know that you're on board. I'll get him on board.
I am now very concerned, but you know what? Sure, I'm on board with this. Whatever, I am in your hands.
Have mercy on me.
Watching Jeremy talk and gesticulating, and all this is going on in their heads. So all I can imagine is Elafira gesticulating wildly, walking out the room.
100%.
While saying nothing, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So good.
And that was it. And now Sin is gone.
We can.
Was there anything anybody else wanted to do before we shove off?
can
Well,
pick-
I mean,
My headphones are Bluetooth. I'm always here.
Najka was going to check on the good goblins and see how they were doing, but I believe someone else was also doing that.
We'll do it. Noshka first. Noshka, good goblin,
Yeah.
go.
I mean, she was just gonna find whichever good goblin she could find first.
Meanie Mouse
Probably
Gatsby.
Gatsby.
Yeah. Hey there.
Hi.
The three of you all right? I heard the arguing. I didn't make anything out, but I heard the arguing.
We're working on it.
Do you mind if I ask what it was about?
I don't think it's about from before the orphanage.
Hmm.
It's kind of heavy stuff, and I wouldn't feel right sharing while Peas isn't on board.
Where is Peas?
She looks over at she looks down the hall at where the Martin Victoria is being stored. There.
They don't feel like talking that much.
No.
I mean, fair enough.
To be fair, I think he has a good reason for being upset. It's not fair, but it's a good reason.
I know that the three of you talk about most everything, but of the three of you, Peas is the one that I talk to the most. If you want to let him know that if they want to talk to me about anything, I'm willing to listen.
We'll let him know. Thank you.
All right. For what it's worth, you're entitled to whatever hang-ups you may have. I'm sure your past is difficult and not necessarily easy to dig up. And I don't know what I would have done in a similar situation had I the same experience as you do. So
She nods.
don't beat yourself up too much about any of it.
We'll try.
We're gonna get pushed off soon. Do you all want to take the first shift, or shall I put Grouper on it?
We can do it.
All right. Let us know when you're ready. And she'll walk off.
All right. Anyone else on the ship heading towards the good goblins, or are we cutting to Elifir and Davina getting back?
Grouper was gonna try to track him down.
Go ahead. They are not hard to track down. They're on the ship.
Might be interesting if it was either Meanie Manny or Peas.
Yeah, it can be Meanie Manny.
Okay. Might even be simultaneous if they're not
Well,
together.
Peas is elsewhere right now, so.
Yeah. No, but I mean, the
I mean,
conversation
it could
with
be
Meanie Manny.
Peas.
Oh,
Peas,
I see.
Peas is in Martin Victoria, and if you check there, that's where he is.
That's actually kind of what Grouper wanted to talk about, so I think that makes sense. So
Sure.
would go and check on Martin Victoria first.
Well, there you
go. What does Martin Victoria look like? They're in active monitoring mode or shut down?
It looks like it's shut down.
Okay. So Grouper will will sort of wander around, find it, flop following along behind him, and say, "Hey,
But the dog's probably sleeping at its feet.
okay, hey, Worm, anybody home?
The dog barks.
Any good goblins inside?
I'll cast Speak with Animals.
Hey, are they inside?
Peas is real sad.
Oh, there's a
Don't know
bummer.
what to do.
Oh, are you sad?
Peas is sad.
I get it. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can help. Okay?
Okay.
Hey, Peace. Worm's
What?
worried about you. Me too.
Oh, does P say what?
Yeah.
Worm's worried about you. Me too. I came down here to say I got hammocks for almost everybody, and I kind of wanted y'all to know I tried to get one for Martin Victoria, but they don't make them that big.
Martin Victoria doesn't need a hammock.
I know. I just kind of thought it might be neat. Yesterday was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Probably a lot rougher for you all.
Maybe.
Well, I know you all know this, but I'm just gonna say it again. I love you guys. You're all my family, and I'm here if you want to talk, or if y'all just want to, I don't know, you want to play instruments with me?
Gatsby might.
What about you? What do you feel like doing, Peace?
I don't know.
Want to go fishing?
Not right now.
That's okay. I'm writing a letter to Father Martin. You want to put anything in? You don't have to come out. You can just tell me what to put in, or I can just give you an extra paper and I won't read it. You can seal it up. I'll put it in the envelope.
Gatsby will write one.
Okay. That's okay. You hungry?
Yeah.
You want to come get something, or you want me to bring you something?
I'm staying here.
Okay. Well, I'll go get you something. How about Worm? Is he eating anything today? Want me to get him something too?
Food! Food!
Okay. Well, you want to come get some food? We're gonna get some for Peas.
Food!
Okay. He likes that idea. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Worm,
You want to come get food? You want to stay here and have me bring it back?
The dog is ready to come with because that gets food sooner.
Okay.
okay. Worm's gonna come with me. Flop's gonna hang out here. And, we'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Anything in particular you want?
No.
Okay.
And Grouper will head off towards the galley and see what we've got that roughly approximates what Grouper's estimation of Peas' favorite food is.
I think he probably knows. I don't know what Peas' favorite food is right now, but I think Grouper knows.
Roll me
Yeah.
D100.
Who?
Me?
You, Grouper.
Okay.
See what we have.
I hope your favorite food is rice. 80.
you're sort of honestly right now. Y'all are at sort of bare rations on
Mhm.
the ship. You don't have much. You spent most of your rations getting here from the island, and you
I did
probably don't
salt
have
a bunch of
enough
fish.
that you then sold. Um,
Oh, that is one thing that Nashka will,
So-
because she's been on the ship to keep stock of things. She will go out and get enough rations for the trip there and the trip to nearest town.
So then spend gold for rations. The book price rations per day. As far as supplies are concerned. But outside of whatever restocking is soon to happen, there's not a lot on the ship right now.
Okay. Well, I will do the best I can with the little that's available.
Mhm.
Um,
Do you have chef's tools proficiency or anything like that?
thought I did, but I apparently don't.
Tool proficiency
I
is a
haven't.
little bit different right now, anyways. But if you don't have them, then we will just have you make a survival roll and see how well you cook.
All right. I have an herbalism kit. 17.
You make decent food for what you've got. It's not going to be Pease's favorite food, but it's good food.
Okay. And we'll make some for Worm, and I'll make a big batch of whatever it is.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I'll take enough. Give some to Worm while we're cooking, and take some back for Flop and for Peas, and probably an extra for Worm once we get there.
Nashka spends 63 gold on about 2 weeks worth of preserved rations for everyone on the ship.
There you go. So you return with food for Peas.
We didn't have a ton, but I did what I could. Kind of reminds me of that one winter. You remember when the ships couldn't come in till late? We kind of started running out of everything except what we had on the island. We all got real good at different kinds of spice. Anyway, here you go. Is there like a slot? How do I get it to Peas?
He'll open the door to receive
Okay.
it.
All
He
right.
does not look like he has been happy for the past 8 hours.
Gerber just reaches up on tippy toe, passes up the bowl.
Thank you.
Yeah. I brought you can see Flop eating. Worm already ate once. I brought more. I figured I never met a dog that didn't want seconds.
He nods.
You want to watch him eat? That always cheers me up.
Yeah.
And then
You watch him
unless Peas has anything else to say, I think they will just sit in silence watching a seal and a dog eat a lot of food, which
Good way to spend your time.
yeah.
After a little bit longer, Elefira and Davina return to the ship, and Najka does as well with rations to stock. And soon after that, you all set sail, heading towards Alset Bay, south of Stilben, a couple days sail. And as you begin to spend your couple of days on the ocean blue, that's where we are going to take our break for the week. So if you're watching live, please stay tuned for these commercial messages. Remember, when we take our break, you take yours. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. we're back. A dinosaur story. So, you've got 4 days before you arrive at your destination as you exit from Stillben on the water. What would you all like to do amongst those 4 days? Starting with Jack.
Peas would like to speak with Najka.
Take it away while I go get a band-aid for my foot because I'm bleeding.
Stop bleeding.
That's what the band-aid's
I'll
for.
do that.
He's going to just quietly step into her workshop while she's working one evening and just sit down and watch her until she notices him.
Thing that you notice she's working on, she's laid out the Grudge Settler, which is the shotgun great axe, onto the table, and is currently working on like affixing counterweights to the back end of it so that it makes it easier to carry the axe in one hand and use it effectively. As you are walk in, and she's sort of like tightening a bolt on one side, and she looks over her shoulder. Hey, Peace. Can I help you?
Our entire clan was murdered.
Hmm.
I woke up one night and there were a bunch of adventurers mowing their way through my family.
Hmm.
I saw it happen.
Hmm.
And then all of you were killing the goblins. And it feels like it's the same thing. And Grouper brought me breakfast this morning, and it still feels like he was there when my family died.
For what it's
And-
worth. Go on.
I don't know what to do.
For what it's worth. The fact that our opponents were goblins in that fight was irrelevant. It was the fact that they were trying to kill us and apparently summon demons. Whether they'd been humans, whether they'd been orcs, she gestures to herself, whether they'd been dwarves, whether they'd been Goliaths, whether they'd been anything. They were trying to kill us and trying to apparently summon demons. That is the reason we fought and bested them. I don't know. I don't
Sure.
expect that makes it feel better. But it is true.
I'm sure whoever did it thought they were doing something good too.
I didn't think we were doing something good. I think we were surviving. It's not always black and white. It never is, in fact. Nothing in this world is that simple. I'm sure the adventurers that went through had some justification. I don't think I'd ever find it to be enough, personally. There's one thing defeating opponents who are trying to kill you. There's another thing butchering your way through a village that has civilians. but I understand. And I am sorry that I'm just sorry. I don't really have a deeper specification than that. But for what it's worth, I do not look at anyone in this group and form a pretext on them based upon their species other than the fact that some of us can breathe water. That's literally the only one that comes to mind.
Can I stay here for a while?
Absolutely. As long as you like.
He's just gonna sit there.
She'll work. She'll explain what she's doing if he has any interest in it.
He seems to like hearing you talk, but at some point, when you turn around, he's fallen asleep.
Mm-hmm. She'll let him sleep and just keep working. I think that's that scene.
All right. Anything else anyone's doing? Over the course of 4 days.
Nasha can always be found either maintaining the ship or performing modifications. If anyone needs work done on any of their equipment, she is willing to do it.
Meanie Manny is going to continue hanging out with Byron. We don't have a whole week, so I don't know if that counts towards.
No, it wouldn't count.
Might
towards
just
your,
be
it,
fluff
yeah,
training.
it wouldn't count towards your work week of proficiency training. But
Well, he's just practicing.
yeah, just
So
practicing.
there.
There you go.
I think
Training on deck.
Ella is always busy doing something. Like if she's not asleep, she is in the process of, even if it's just busy work, which probably most of the time it is, because there's only so much you can do on this on a ship.
SB will help you do busy work.
But yeah, just constantly staying busy, keeping her mind on stuff.
Okay.
Cineris keeps busy, like, inspecting the ship, performing what repairs he's capable of doing. Otherwise, informing Najka of
Largely repairing
any...
the facade because the ship itself is not made of wood.
Yeah.
Which
But
I mean-
otherwise informing, like, popping into Najka's workshop to, like, hey Najka, this bit of metal looks loose. Can you take a look at that when you have a moment?
Yeah, and she'll
then-
pause her work, walk over, take a look, mend it back into place.
And repairing the facade is important because you don't want it to break anywhere and reveal that this is not a normal ship. Davina Gruber?
Grouper, I think.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say Grouper's fishing. So
Davina is going to try to unlock some hidden memories if she's able to.
Don't quite have enough time in the moment for that, but you can
Okay.
sort of be just pondering through your abilities and your connections.
All right.
So yeah, in that case, there's nothing else specific.
Pease is going to
ahead.
stop hiding in Martin Victoria. He's rather quiet, which is how he usually is, but he's out and about again. That's it.
Yeah. I was thinking about something, but it did not. It doesn't. It's less important at the moment. So after 4 days, you're all falling into your routine again. you find yourself pulling in towards the blah, 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 blah. As my words continue to fail me, pulling in to the Owlset Bay towards the exit, the opening of the Formir Waterway. Everyone, go ahead and give me perception checks as you're coming in. This is visual, if it matters for anybody.
For bookkeeping purposes, I'll also point out if Grouper has access to fishing, we don't need to use rations. I can catch enough fish with my fisherman background. So, Najka, if you were marking that off, don't. I got a 1. It's an 11.
It's still good to have a backup of rations.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I'm bringing it to your attention so you don't mark off the days.
Yeah.
Because there might be days when we need Grouper to steer the ship.
So
Or we might get tired of fish. That could happen.
as you approach, you notice most of you, not Davina and not Grouper and not Elefira, so the other three. Wait, hang on. Do we have a Teneris, Good Goblins, Najka, perception check?
Oh, right. Sorry, I was focusing on updating.
Okay, yeah. So Najka, 10% of the Good Goblins. You hear the Outset Bay itself is largely not populated. There's sparse bits of wildlife and such all around it, but there's no big like settlements or anything. You do, however, see so there is a bit of a stony mountainous region that the Formir waterway sort of cuts through to get out to the Outset Bay. And at the base of that mountainous region, there are some structures that you can find that you can see on the horizon as you're getting in closer that seem to be ancient stone structures of some kind, sort of jutting out of the mountain, seemingly long abandoned, no banners flying, no anything like that. Which is why it's a little odd that you hear and see activity in those stone structures. Specifically, you see flashes of light, and all of you hear. You don't have to succeed the perception check to hear because it's loud. Thunderous explosions coming from the stone structure.
Meanie Manny's going to approach Najka and point it out, despite her already having noticed. We need to go over there.
Oh yeah. That sounds like firearms. That's something that's part of my job to investigate.
I'll go tell Gesby, who's on shift right now, and powering the boat.
So, as you are all informed of what's being seen and heard, and you all, how many of you are going on the deck to get a better view of things, or are you all just?
Yep.
Najka, yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
We're busy steering.
Yeah, but with your perception tied to the ship, you have a good view of it regardless. As you get to within basically like sort of engagement range, you see another flash of light and hear that thunderous crack, and you watch as a humanoid form just comes shooting off of the sort of the what's it called? What are the walkways called on battlements? Off the battlements of the structure, just sort of spiraling and falling into the water. Standing just beyond that individual and the source of the sound, you can see a humanoid figure standing roughly 6 feet tall, that all of you have seen before as an illusion in a training session. She is a 6 foot tall, bronze skinned, female appearing individual with short black hair, shaved close on the sides, sort of a leather jacket with the sleeves sort of cut off, a corset, and light clothing otherwise. And apparently she just punched a man with enough force to sound like a gunshot and sent him spiraling into the water. Elefira,
You just hear show off.
you recognize Rook, yes.
Yeah.
She looks at
Said the training session, and I panicked.
No, not that one. The other one.
Yeah, no. This is the monk-like individual that immediately went for Elefira during the training session.
Sure, it's not a giant turtle.
Yeah, not
No.
It is not a giant turtle.
as
How does Tenebris feel about the mayor back home now?
Not that concerned.
Starting a recall effort.
Pardon? Oh. No. You as the body clears and this individual spots the ship coming in, squints, sees
Raise a
Elefira,
hand.
raises a hand and just points over to sort of like a makeshift dock, and then throws a hand sign that Elefira means everything's under control functionally.
Okay.
You watch as her left leg begins to emanate electricity as she turns and just launches herself back into the build, sort of back beyond the battlements. And there is a crash of lightning wherever it is that she lands.
I point where she pointed and goes right there.
Yes, the new Four Elements monk is sick.
No, this is not a Four Elements monk. Although the new Four Elements monk is sick.
Yeah. Take him in right there.
We dock.
You take the ship into dock. Shortly after you dock and weigh anchor, or not weigh anchor, drop anchor, you hear the sound of a person approaching, this person being Rook, dragging someone along the wooden boards behind her. Elefira?
Right.
You can introduce me?
You
The big
know
gubbins.
some of these people
You should introduce me.
briefly.
You should introduce me anyways.
Yeah. Well, they already know you. This everybody. This is Rook. Rook. This is everybody.
She sort of scans the faces of everyone, lingers on Davina for a second, but there's no expression on the face. Just sort of like, just looking, pause, looking. Have you given her the names of everyone?
I would assume in the past, yes.
In your reports? Okay, cool. That's how I was checking.
Yes.
The good goblins are not here allegedly. It's just an Aormaton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Allegedly.
what have you told her about the Aormaton, if anything?
I think what Ella knows, which is pretty much nothing.
Well, you know that the good goblins are inside it.
Well, yes.
That's
You
the
were
question
asked
I'm
to keep
asking.
it a secret, but that doesn't mean that you did.
So that's the question. When was I asked to keep it a secret?
When we got the boat. On the boat ride from
Yeah,
on the
there
boat
were-
ride from our
to-
on the boat ride from our home island to still.
That horse already left the stables at that point.
fantastic.
There was nothing I could do about it at that point. Because I'm pretty sure I had already sent
Sent a report.
Yeah, you had sent a couple
Yeah.
reports at that point. She looks over the group of you, nods. All right, everyone. As Elefira has told you, I'm Rook. Come on in. And she just sort of dumps the body that she was dragging, which looked to be an either dead or unconscious human, into the water, and dusts her hands off, and turns around and walks into the building.
Yep.
May I ask, who it was that you had assaulted to take this position from.
Torchbearers.
Ah, good. Fuck him then.
Martin Victorian nods.
Davina tenses.
Had the body been stabbed?
Give me a medicine check.
Okay. $23
No. Not
is
not super clear because it's wearing clothes. Not super clear what killed it, but it wasn't stabbing.
Rook carrying any daggers
It's
visibly?
really a lot of it.
Too many daggers.
Oh, now we're okay with stabbing.
Not that you're visible.
No, I'm not sure we're okay with stabbing.
Not that are visible.
No,
No,
I think he's trying to find a source of where the stabbing came
Okay, I
Yeah.
thought, okay.
Trying to find where you get your bad influence.
not that are visible. No.
Okay. Did the gaze lingered on Davina? Did it linger at all on Grouper?
No.
Of course, the gaze linger on Davina. Have you seen her haircut?
Fair.
Yep, I'm just heading on in.
And
Davina's following right behind Ella.
Yeah. Yeah, I am keeping close to Davina currently.
And as a reminder, in Slack.
Yep.
What she looks like?
Yep. It's uploading now. There you go. That is what Rook looks like.
Tenebrous lingers on the dock and watches the body floating. It's like, is it dead? After like a minute, it's like, it doesn't seem to be moving. Let's go.
Yeah, no moving, no bubbles.
Can I with that 23? Can I tell that it's dead?
Yeah.
Does Tenebrous voice that out loud?
No.
Okay.
It's always good to double check.
Gruber
Yeah.
Gruber hangs back until it's clear that everyone is coming in. So if Tenebrous is hanging back, Gruber's hanging back.
It doesn't sound like Tenebrous was hanging back particularly long. Just long enough to establish that there were no bubbles coming out of the water. Following Rook, you find yourselves moving into... Everyone make me a history check.
$11.
Ori.
It's alphabetic. I
Fucking.
should be able to find where the H is.
Of course, why would I actually be able to roll anything?
I know. Why would I roll well on the thing that I have a +9 on,
Right?
or +6 rather?
I'm pretty sure Ella is just not allowed to roll well on anything.
That
If
tracks.
the evidence has anything to say about it.
Tenebrous, Davina, Najka, and the Good Goblins all recognize that this is dwarven construction that you're walking into. Not identifiable any given clan or society. Not 100% certain what offshoot or faction of dwarves built it, but it's definitely dwarven construction. Solid
Which
stone.
means it's
Technically,
not.
technically, if we're dealing with stonework, it's a 15 because I do have stone cutting.
Oh, well, then yeah. I mean, you definitely know that it's dwarven. You already knew that it was dwarven construction. Now you really know that it's dwarven construction. But yeah. So it's brain. Yeah. Old, long abandoned. Not anything aside from apparently the torchbearers that had been squatting in it previously. And as you walk into the building, you can see that there were probably about a dozen or so individuals in here that apparently Rook took care of. Otherwise, it is largely empty except for some like sleeping bags and the like.
Oh, this is a dwarven fort, older than the torchbearers. Where'd they get it from?
Presumably, it was here.
In the neighborhood?
Rook just
Right. Where
points.
was probably the wrong term. Who?
As far as I can tell, it's been long abandoned. Rook says, until they arrived, and she reaches into a sort of a side pouch, pulls out a cigarette, puts it in mouth, holds up a finger, little burst of fire, lights it. All right. So, I don't know how much Elefira has told you, particularly since I haven't told Elefira much myself.
Yeah, I told them everything that I could.
Fair. You, she says, pointing at Najka and Fyron, and I are working on the same problem, largely.
I sort of figured as much.
We figured as much.
She points, and there is a small pile of flintlock pistols off to one side.
All right. These need to either be destroyed or sent back to Whitestone, or requisitioned if any of you feel like having a pistol on hand.
Martin Victoria raises the gun hand and then puts it back down.
So, I've been investigating the Torchbearers for a while now. Infiltrated a few of their facilities, knocked them over as best I could. She says, throwing a look at Davina, but not saying anything specifically.
Davina is like locked eyes on her, not moving.
And come to determine that, while we're not 100% certain what it is that they are after, what they are after and their public persona are not matching up. They are...
Yeah, we got that part.
Najka walks over and starts shoving the firearms into the bag of holding.
Still uncovering information as best we can. This was doesn't seem to be a base of operations or anything like that. Seemed to be more of like a reinforcement squat. So wherever they were meant to reinforce isn't going to be receiving reinforcements, she says, gesturing. In the meantime, I need your squad, she says, pointing at Elefira and then pointing at Najka, to make this place your own. If it's a position of interest of the Torchbearers, we want to have assets in charge of it. And we want to not let them have it back. And while I can clear it out, I'm not going to be able to hold it on my own.
Do you have staff and crew, or am I putting in a call to Whitestone?
Rook.
Mm-hmm.
I
That
look
Rook doesn't
over
have
at
hammocks.
Davina and look back.
Make an insight check.
Jesus, you know what? Do I have? Yes, I do have inspiration. Fuck it.
Do it.
Slightly better.
With an 11, you know that
I managed to roll above a 5.
You know that Rook is not in the habit of answering questions that haven't been asked.
When Ella says that, Davina, just staring at Rook, says, I have many questions.
Then ask.
Rupert moves over and just stands next
She
to
points
her.
to head.
However
Unsure
you
if Rook will know what that means.
ask however you want.
I'm trying to count how many people. Can I connect all of us, including Rook, right now?
Let's take a look at your limitations.
I do that on a daily basis for myself, so it's okay.
It's a good thing to do. It's always good to look at your own limitations. Psychic focus. This is...
That's going to be the soundbite I hear in my head every morning when I look at myself in the mirror. I'm just going to hear Sen going, let's take a look at your limitations.
There you go. Glad to have given you that present.
Thank you, Sen.
Up to 6 creatures at once.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We're doing the same thing.
Not if you have to include yourself. Yes.
The
Yes,
the good
otherwise.
goblins.
It's
Yeah,
six-
the good
it's
goblins
six-
count.
It's 6 others, but all 3 of the good goblins count as 1.
3, 4, 5. Okay, then she won't include Byron.
Fair.
Nashka can catch him up.
Not
Okay.
you, Guillermo.
What?
I said not you, Guillermo. It's what we do in the shadows.
But yeah, she will connect. How did you know where to find me before?
I didn't.
Were you investigating the torchbearers?
Yep. Rescuing you and yours was a happy little accident. She says out loud. She's not responding in the mental link. She's responding out loud.
So, please explain to me how you came upon us.
I
How
was
investigating the
investigating-
torchbearers led you there.
I was investigating torchbearer activity. I found a base of torchbearer activity. I raided it. There were people in cages. I let you free. Told you to run. I followed torchbearers to the facility and wrecked it.
Did you know my connection with Ella at that time?
I didn't even know you were in there until I opened your cage.
Okay. Do you know what exactly the torchbearers were doing in that facility?
From what we gathered, she says, pausing and taking another hit. From what we gathered, they were attempting to cultivate magical power they referred to as psionics. Finding people that they seemed to, from I don't know how, determine had the capacity, and then doing experiments to awaken that capacity and then enhance it.
What happened to Silos?
She, there's a moment of like, I don't know who that name is, and
Crazy.
she
She tries to give her a physical description as best she can.
didn't see him.
Was
Do you know
there
anything
anyone?
about him?
I'm trying to think of if she does know anything about him. Hang on. Who got what information has been. She just thinks about it for a second. The name, I've come across the name before, but not in. I've never come across the person. Researcher of some kind. But he wasn't there.
Was there anyone there keeping guard or
Oh, yeah.
in the facility?
Yep.
Okay.
Quite a few. Hence why getting you all to escape while I was dealing with them.
Out of character. Do I remember anyone else besides Silos and that figure that you told me about?
No.
Okay, so I don't remember
Not-
anyone else being
not-
in there.
No one other than the other escapees that you escaped with.
Hmm.
But you only remember them from the escape, not from anything before then.
What happened to the others that were in there?
You're the first one that I've met back up with as far as escapees. Unless you're talking about the
Okay.
torchbearers, in which case I killed them all. Well,
I
most of
was
them.
talking about escapees.
You're the first one that I've met back up with. Tried to track down some of the
You-
others, but y'all were very good at disappearing.
Do you know what happened to oh, I'm trying to remember his name. Was it Hawk? Was that the name? You
Hawk,
meant
Hawk was the name of one of the other escapees, the one that was sort of organizing people.
yes. Yeah. Do you know what happened to Hawk?
Nope. Don't even know who Hawk is.
Okay.
I assume either a torchbearer or one of the other escapees.
No, one of the other escapees.
Okay. You
Who
know,
was organizing us. when we were-
it took me a little while to clear out the facility, but once I cleared out the facility and left, followed you all to try to find you, most of your tracks ended at cliffs. So I'm honestly surprised you survived.
I think that's all my questions for now.
How did you survive?
I swam
Where?
to the island.
There's definitely a look of you're lying to me, like on her face.
I swam for was it 2 days?
No, 2 weeks.
You swam.
No. She swam for 2 days before she was picked up.
You swam for. I think you swam for 5 days before you were picked up, because you were picked up.
Oh,
5
was it
days
5 days?
Yeah, you were picked up
Yeah,
5
right,
days out.
because you were full on
Alright.
exhaustion, about to die.
Yeah. I swam for 5 days and then I was picked up by a boat, unconscious in the water.
The fuck did they do to you?
I would love to know.
Isn't that your job to figure out things like this?
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you know more information than I? Do you have more information than I do, Fish Boy?
No, I've been on an
Well, then
island.
maybe
Don't
cut-
you
maybe
work for
cut
an
the attitude?
organization of people that work and keep secrets and find things out?
Grouper,
Rupert, it's okay.
we're not omniscient. This is new information. Obviously, we want this information, but I get
Fights
it.
won't help
but
anything, Grouper.
Did you say violence won't help anything?
That picking fights won't help anything, Grouper.
I'm not picking a fight.
That's what you're
I'm
doing.
asking a question.
You're digging
Isn't it
holes,
your
what you're doing.
organization's job to find out things like this?
It is. Why do you think I'm investigating?
So how do we help you do that?
Right now, by securing this area and not letting them take it back.
fair enough.
Reiterate my
So
last
we're just spending time here.
We probably won't need to spend all of our time here. She turns herself back to Rook. Do you have crew and support, or am I putting in a call to Whitestone?
I have you. She says, pointing at Elefira.
So I'm putting in a call to Whitestone. All right. Because bastions get hirelings, and they come from somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Like, I can put in a few requests if you guys need specific things from the Cobalt Soul, but the Cobalt Soul isn't in the habit of base building.
Well, fortunately, Whitestone is. So,
But yeah. Whatever you want, whatever you feel is appropriate, however you want to do it, secure this location, keep it out of the hands of the torchbearers, because I guarantee they're going to send some more people here to try to take it back. And then when I have a lead, I'll let you know.
All right.
do you happen
Because-
to have access to? She looks over the group. I forget. Does this group have sending?
Don't think so.
No, not that I'm aware of.
Do you happen to have access to a sending scroll or anything that might be useful so that I can send this message long distance?
She thinks about it for a second. Not on me. Give me a day. I mean, I can send like a coded message very quickly to anywhere if I know the person, but
Do you know Lady Vexalia de Rolo?
not personally.
All right.
Yeah. So, to your question, she says, pointing at Grouper. Yes, our job is to find out information. It takes a while. We're working on it. It doesn't help that whatever leads that the torchbearers are following is coming from ancient ruins. Whatever this psionic stuff that they're unlocking, they learned about it from pre-calamity ruins. So we're sort of playing catch up. By about 1,000 years.
We have access to ruins if we know where to go.
Well, if I find some, I'll let you know. Again, like
There
I said,
should be.
this base was important to them for some reason. I haven't finished scoping it out. So maybe we find something
There
here.
could be answers here. Yeah.
Yeah, there should be information we can find around here. We'll start searching and setting up. If you could do me the favor of securing me something so that I can contact Lady Vexalia quickly, so I can get people down here to secure this place.
Give me a day. I have a cache nearby I can get to. It'll just take me a bit of climbing.
All right. Let's get to work then. Davina, do you have any more questions?
I think that was all of them for now.
Do any of you have any more questions?
Not at the exact moment.
Okay. Crow, she says, looking at Elefera, and then tosses you something.
Yep. I'll catch it.
Catch it. It is a small clockwork bird.
Okay.
If you need me before I'm back, wind that up, send a message.
Inventory. Alrighty.
Mechanically, it's a clockwork bird. Takes an action. You can give it a message, effectively a sending length message, and it will deliver it to the recipient that it's coded to. In this case, Rook, within an hour or so.
Cool.
All right. Settle yourselves in. I'll be back in a day. And she stubs her cigarette out and walks out.
What is
Well, we
the...
have a place. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask something out of character. Go for it.
Oh, we have a place.
Congratulations, you all now have a bastion. Or at least the beginnings of one.
Sebastian,
So, bastions, for those
Yep.
who don't know, is a location that belongs to you. A home, a stronghold, a place of power that you can develop over the course of a campaign. It offers you temporary refuge from the dangerous world of adventuring. It provides you opportunities to craft magic items, conduct research, harvest poisons, build ships, etc. Bastions level up with you, and they have what are referred to as bastion turns, which is basically once every 7 days in-game, of in-game, in-world time, you can do an action or something relating to the bastions, which these are things that we'll go over later between games and such. But functionally, you get to upgrade and build out the bastion as you like, as you level. So you get to, as you level, you get access to more options. As the bastion levels up, you get access to more options. Some facilities come with hirelings, NPCs that will man those facilities, things like teleportation rooms or libraries or arcane facilities. And as you build facilities into the building, there are basic facilities and then special facilities. As you build facilities, it gives you access to other things you can do with the bastion over the course of the campaign. I don't know if I have a way to give you like a character sheet for the bastion other than a notes document. But I'll give you a shared notes document right now that you can use, and then as we build it up, we can adjust things and get you more stuff.
Base of operations to go with our ship.
What is the relationship of it geographically compared to the water? Like, is it essentially you sail up in a dock and you're there? How high up are we during this conversation with Rook?
So it seems to be a small fortification, like a small shoreline fortification built into the side of the mountain. So the mountain comes down. So the river, the Foramir waterway, if you look at the map, comes out, empties out into the Alset Bay between, like, in a ravine. And so the sort of the northern side of that river, there is basically right where it spills out into the Alset Bay, that little corner of the mountainside is this dwarven structure that's been built out of the mountainside.
Okay.
So
do we have a sense of how deep it goes?
With a bit of exploring, you get the sense that it's not very big at the moment, but that it could be expanded. It is it'll require a bit of repairing, but at the moment it is it has 2 free basic facilities that you get to determine as you're building it out. So it's basically at 2 rooms. One of them is cramped and one of them is roomy, which effectively is
typically per player character's
Yeah.
bastion, because usually bastions are separate buildings for each player character.
Yeah.
Unless then we combine them into one large one.
This is being combined.
Yeah.
You'll have the ability to expand it as you go, but right now it only has 2 free basic facilities. So it's not very big yet, but it has room to grow.
I think Grouper is sort of after this. If we're still on the docks, Grouper will just sort of turn and jump into the water and turn into a reef shark and start exploring around and see if there are any underwater entrances.
Sure. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Sure.
And yeah, the docks themselves fairly rickety. Just look at it, like it looks like they were. They at one point it was a full stone like waterway dock that crumbled over time or just damage, and was then patched over really rapidly with sort of a rickety wooden dock. With a 7, there are underwater caves in the in the basin, or in the bay. You're not certain if any of them would connect back to the stronghold. But there is space for excavation down here.
While I'm swimming around, I'll cast. Actually, I guess before I jump in, may I have cast Speak with Animals?
Sure.
Actually, I think I can just do that automatically now, or it's always prepared now. So I don't know if I can cast it as an animal, but I'll do it before
you're
I change.
Moon, aren't you?
Yes.
You can cast while you're in wild shape.
Only certain spells.
Oh.
Only certain spells. Not all of my spells, unfortunately.
Fair.
But I can cast my Circle of the Moon spells, but I also get that as auto prepared as a druid. I don't know. Anyway, let's just say I did it before, if that's okay.
Sure.
If not, I can use a second wild shape. I'm gonna start introducing myself to the animals around and see if we can maybe recruit some of them to be, the aquatic guard dogs.
All right, you're doing that.
You probably get about part way through that before I jump in the water.
Tenebris also jumps in the water, except he's inspecting the dock.
Give me a. You have proficiency in what tools?
Carpenters.
Go ahead and give me investigation with advantage. So tools now give you, rather than being individual rolls, they modify existing skill rolls. As far as I understand, I need to double check that. But one of the things that they can do is give you advantage on relevant skill checks. With a 10, the wooden dock that was extended out from the stone dock, very hastily and inexpertly built. It like the fact that it held all your weight when you got off onto it is a miracle in and of itself from where you're looking at. So definitely could undergo with an expert's hand at fixing or just destroying and rebuilding. Though looking at the foundations of what they've sort of attached to,
Tools
basically,
still have their own ability checks. They still have their own tool checks.
it
They
has
can
to
also interface with skills.
it has to anchor into the remains of the stone foundation of the older dock. So it might be better just either completely destroying the old stone dock and rebuilding it, or doing something else. But that's what you sort of get from that 10. Elefira, you dive into the water?
Yep.
We should.
Head up to where Grouper is.
Do you know what he looks like as a shark?
That's a good question.
Make a nature check.
Gotten you a cat bell yet?
There's one particularly frog-eyed shark in the middle of
Yeah.
the water.
It's not impossible because he does still look a little grouperish in most of his animal forms.
Yes.
With a 17,
Okay, yeah,
there is
for
a
sure.
shark that doesn't quite look right, and also that is in an area where there shouldn't be sharks.
And is talking to other fish.
Yeah,
Right.
Hey guys, come back. I just want to talk to you.
they are terrified and running away.
So Davina was going to follow after Grouper.
You saw Elefira
not
follow. Are
sure.
you still doing so?
Actually, yes. Right now, yes.
The ocean's
Because-
kind of like a big room that they're locked in.
Because I want to make sure that Grouper is going to speak with her,
So
whether he wants to or not.
most of the party dives into the water. Byron from the building looking out goes, "Is it just like every time you stop for 5 minutes, that section of the group dives into the water?"
Realize that all of them come from aquatic species.
Certainly. But
They could have said something.
Also, Tenebris isn't an
I
aquatic
come-
species.
I come from a family of hard ale drinkers. You don't see me getting drunk every time I stop moving.
There's a difference between people that have a particular habit and people that literally are adjusted for an aquatic environment. Mind
I
you,
die.
Tenebris isn't, so
Me point
Oh,
stat.
yes.
I'm not
the
sure
aquatic-
Tenebris
the
is
aquatic
adjusted
gerbil.
for on land environment either
it's
anymore.
fair. Tenebris is the special case, but still, like Davina, Davina, Grouper, and Elefira are all literally species that are born in and live and are best habitated in water.
Yeah, sure, fine. Just, in case something tries to eat them, I guess I'm going to stay up here and keep an eye out. He just goes and stands at the edge of the dock and just looks down into water he can't see through.
They'll be fine.
He does
He
have a
said-
point. The anime of this campaign is like 60% beach episodes.
Freeran standing at the edge of the dock would see Tenebris come back up, crawl up the dock, and it's like, "Oh, hey, Freeran.
Firing. Bam.
Where's not Firen? Free."
Tenebris is just like, nope, not dealing with that.
And it's like, "Hey, Firen.
Yeah. This is
Yep.
not.
Where's Nashka hanging out?"
This is not an isekai. I can't think of. I think it's just the series is just called Freeran, isn't it?
Beyond
Freeran
Journey's
is also
End.
not an isekai.
Is it not? Oh,
Yeah, no, it's not. It's a fantasy.
Well, never mind. It looks like an isekai. Do you know what I mean? Like every time I
It,
see
it has that look, but it's not.
every time I see a screenshot of it or anything, it's just like that's an isekai. Anyways,
It's a very homey, very pleasant fantasy.
okay. Firen will
Kind of
just.
tragic
Is that the
and
one
sad
with
and
the old
depressing at
elf?
times. Yeah, it's the one with the elf who outlived her old adventuring party. It's
Yeah,
sad,
I
but also very
started
homey.
watching that. I want to continue.
Firen will just thumb towards the building and keep watching the water.
Tenebris goes and finds Nashka and has a conversation about the dock.
Not because busy like sorting through anything. that's useful to be found around here.
So Davina and Elfira both dove into the water. And
Yep.
Elfira found shark grouper. So go ahead.
We should talk about this.
Oh, what?
Don't even start.
Davina is swimming up behind. She's dropping
That came
mentally.
out harsh. I'm sorry.
Up with this. Grouper,
But you know what?
I don't like your boss.
Why?
She's got a bad attitude.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, she does. She's talking about something that's dangerous and that hurts people, and she's flippant about it. I don't like it.
Meanwhile,
That's an interesting definition of flippant.
one of the torchbearer corpse floats past.
Oh, hold on. I gotta roll something.
Shark instinct to just bite it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna say it's a disadvantage because there's blood in the water.
Okay.
There actually isn't.
Alright.
There actually isn't blood in the water. None of the people she killed were bleeding.
All right, never mind. Then Gruber just stays focused.
I think I'm going to say something. I don't want you to get angry at this.
Why would I get angry?
Says the shark.
I think you are angry at Rook because you can't be angry at me.
I'd be angry at you.
Really? Because you've been pathologically not angry. Because
Easier.
it's also not honest.
I don't like what she did to you.
Yeah, see, here it is. She didn't do anything to me. What do you think she did?
The shark sort of circles and looks at the corpse drifting off, and then turns back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you think I would care about? Do you think that I would care about the fact that a monster like that is dead before Rook got a hold of me? Because I wouldn't.
I think
And
you've
I don't
always
think I
been someone.
Go ahead.
Oh, I don't think I should be either.
I think you've always been somebody who stands up to monsters.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that definition is broadened.
Based on what evidence?
Based on how quick you are to get to the killing part.
Like when?
I startled you. You stabbed me. There was a problem with Nashka. You stabbed her.
Are you fucking kidding me?
To be clear, Najka tried to hit Elefira with a big axe first.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That one, Craig hasn't watched the episode yet.
Yeah,
so Craig
That's
didn't associate
fair.
Okay.
It wasn't just Najka got a little wild. No, Najka actively attacked Elefira first.
No,
I
understand-
stabbed you. Yeah, I don't think that. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think that changes the
might not.
conversation. But
No, I don't think it does at all.
Grouper, you have not. I stabbed you because I woke up and there was a giant thing on me after I had been in the middle of a fight for my life. I stabbed Najka because Najka had clearly been taken over by something and possessed, and my only options was either that or die.
Okay, I will ask an out of character question. Was it clear that a punch to the face wasn't an option?
An axe flew at my head.
It wasn't
So-
clear what was or wasn't an
Yeah,
action.
there
so
was,
out
there was
of
not
character,
really.
you might think that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Then,
it would
then I think that's what he
very
says.
much make sense. Yeah.
And so a punch to the face wasn't an option? You went right to the blade?
Yes.
Better
Because
her
if,
than you, huh?
oh, fuck you, first of all. You
Not
have
anymore.
you no. You have been living on the island where nothing happens. You do not understand certain aspects of the world that we are all now part of. Yeah, I could have punched. The problem is, if that didn't work, Najka was not trying to punch. Najka was not trying to disable. I would be dead. So yes, I stab in a way that potentially disables. I was not trying to kill. I know the difference between the two in a fight. I can distinguish between the two and affect one or the other.
So you see your sword as a scalpel.
I see it as a tool. But here's the thing. I think this is still deflection. You are trying to find things to poke at, to be angry about, because you can't be angry at the core part of this. There's a part about you and me that you cannot be angry about, but you are. So you find things like you're more lethal now. And I tried to talk to you about that and address it so we can talk it out and we can be okay going forward. And you refuse to.
You want to be direct? Now's a good time. It doesn't get much more direct than Shark.
All right?
Really doesn't.
I need this on a shirt.
Doesn't get more direct than Shark. Yeah, it's real good. All right, well, the ball is in your court. You're the one that's angry.
Really quick,
Yeah.
we're gonna cut
Yep.
away from that for just a second.
Yep.
Up top, good goblins. What are y'all doing?
They would like to go search the area to see if they can figure out what the torchbearers want with this area. However, with everybody scattered in a million different directions, now is not the time. So they'll just unpack some hammocks
Do you want
and
to?
set those up.
Do you
Hell
want
yeah,
to-
hammock time.
You didn't hear any music
touch this.
playing or anything like that when you arrived as Rook
Oh,
was fighting.
yeah, no, yes.
Would you like to do that?
Yes.
Go ahead and give us a
Gatsby's
performance
just-
check.
Gatsby's gonna get out the flute.
And to be clear, Najka is investigating for whatever the torchbearers are looking
Yeah,
for.
Sure. 20. Yeah, those of you that are underwater, you see ether release from the corpses that are floating around you as somebody is performing ascending. And continue.
All right, putting that on, putting a pin in that. The ball's in your court. You're the one that's angry.
Yeah. You left.
Uh-huh.
And you
I
left
sure did.
me.
Yes, I did.
And you told me about it in a letter.
Yes, I did. Because it was the easiest way to do it, and it was a shitty thing to do, and I'm sorry.
The shark is just sort of doing small loops.
You got to do it the easy way. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
just.
I'm sorry about that.
Easy to be sorry now.
I've been sorry about it for a long time. I know that doesn't help.
Did they make you happy?
Who?
The person you said you left me for.
That's a complex question, and it doesn't matter.
Does if it's Rook?
Oh my fucking God!
I knew it. I knew that was what he was thinking.
And he's just sort of snapping idly at the water as he's swimming in little circles now.
It was okay. Let's be perfectly crystal as ocean clear.
Rook would break you.
It was not Rook. I had not even met Rook at that point. There is nothing there. Let's not even go into all of the ethical problems with that, which are many and varied.
Oh, sure. I can't wait to hear you talk about ethics, Stabby. Who was it?
It doesn't matter.
So you left me for somebody who doesn't matter.
I sure did. And I regret it, but listen, there is a lot over that 5-year period that you don't want to know about and you don't want to know about.
Doesn't
All
sound like
you
it's any
need
of my
to know-
business.
No, but you're gonna make it your business. I know it. I am 100% certain of that. All that matters is that I'm sorry.
There are 2 more tight loops, and then the form shifts and changes into a seal.
Okay.
And the seal sort of slowly loops again. And then turns and looks at you with like the seal eyes
Oh, God damn it.
and says, "That's all that matters to you."
I don't know what you want.
I don't either anymore. I
All
used to just want you.
how what's important right now. How do we actually get through this? Because what we're doing now, this pretend thing, isn't going to work. Clearly.
What does getting through look like to you?
I don't even know. Like, different than this. Because I'm tired of being worried that I'm going to. If I run into somebody from my organization, you're going to go on the attack on them. Because it might be somebody who, for the record, anybody from the organization, it was not. Anybody from Cobalt Soul, it was not.
But that's
And I don't want everybody else worried that we're gonna blow up at some point because of this. And I feel like the only way that we get through that is actually talking out, probably not resolving it right now, but we at least have open communication about this. And sure, we'll probably yell at each other more, but it's something. Whatever makes me have to explain less to my superiors that no, it's okay. My adventuring party mate just thinks that you fucked me once. That's why there's so much hostility in the room.
I mean, it's also kind of the knife thing.
I don't get the knife thing.
I don't either.
She doesn't use knives.
It's probably not the knife thing.
Like,
Rook uses her hands and feet.
yeah, I'll say that. But yeah, where I have probably let's put this out. I have probably done things that morally you disagree with. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean I'm a bloodthirsty monster or that they've made me one.
But that's part of it. I don't know who you are anymore. Maybe I don't get to.
That's because you don't want to. Because every time I've tried, you have run away.
I'll tell you this, you don't have to worry about me second guessing everybody we run into anymore. I guess it... And you're right. Both of you. I see you, D.
Comes out from whatever she was behind. Rock plant. Hello.
Some sort of plant rock.
Some sort of...
I know I should have left, but
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
fine. It's fine.
I couldn't stop watching it. Sorry.
It's okay.
Everyone loves a good train wreck.
That's right. I don't... It's easier to find things to be angry at than being angry at people. I like being angry at people. But
The thing is, if you're angry with me and not these little these other little things that the other issues, that can be worked through. Potentially. I hope.
I guess. And even if it was Rook, and I know it wasn't, or even if it's somebody else we run into, I guess it doesn't matter who it was. I guess what matters is why wasn't it me anymore? What happened? And again, seal eyes.
Yeah.
You're gonna make Elefira want to punch every baby seal she sees from now on.
Just murdering baby seals left and right.
Not helping your cause.
It's your fault. Stab, 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 stab.
Damn it, grouper, stab, stab.
It. And she does that. She does the. And then she turns around and goes away.
And as we
Like it is the I cannot get an answer out kind of moment, and then goes.
as that parting occurs, Nashka, you're clearing aside rubble and the like as you're exploring the room, the thing, and you find something that doesn't match with the rest of the building. Pulling aside some bits of loose rubble and earth, you find a smooth, silvery panel just behind the infrastructure of the dwarven structure. Definitely of the same sort of metal that the ship is made from.
He sort of looks at it for a second, and then calls over her shoulder, "Martin Victoria!"
And that is
Oh.
where we will end for this week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye!
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.